Oops. Hold on a second.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Good morning and welcome to the Poetry Show here on November the 12th, 2025. Um, and we're broadcasting here from Bolivar and Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. The Poetry Show broadcasts on www.enlightenradio.org. Let's make sure we are, in fact, broadcasting. There's my little DB. Yes, we are back broadcasting on www.enlightenradio.org. Enlighten Radio is all one word. And you can also find this on player.enlightenradio.org. And we publish the podcasts on podcasts.enlightenradio.org, along with the shows from our storytelling and community show as well. Okay, so this morning, Janet has composed, well, no, she has brought to us some composed Aubades, and she's going to tell us what that is here. Janet, good morning.
Aubade is a poem about dawn, and it's often a poem about lovers parting at dawn, but I just interpreted dawn as broadly. And I'm going to start out with three poets who are actually born in the 1800s, um, and then go to some more contemporary poets. And the first is Paul Laurence Dunbar, who is an African American poet, one of the first African American poets to rise to international fame. He was born in 1872 and he died at 1906 at age 33. He died of tuberculosis, for which there was no cure at the time. He was educated at Howard University. He was something of a child prodigy. I think he published his first poem when he was 16, but he started writing when he was a child. And this is a very short poem called Dawn. An angel, robed in spotless white, bent down and kissed the sleeping night. The night woke to blush, the sprite was gone. Men saw the blush and called it dawn. I thought that was a sweet little whimsical poem.
Very clever. Yes, it's very nice. Very nice. Well,
And take
especially spotless white and sleeping night. So the white and black, with is yeah. I mean, it adds color.
I thought
Uh,
technically it was very good too.
yeah, yeah. Right. Very nice.
It was
Very nice.
very, the
Well,
rhymes are there, but they're natural. They're not, sometimes rhymes, you contort a poem to get to a rhyme, and this poem is not like that.
white knight is kind of cute. Okay.
Yeah.
And gone dawn.
Hmm.
You also, yeah, maybe that's why it's a sprite. It's here. It's not long here. It's gone. No, I call him the angel was a sprite. Yeah, I like that. It was short and very potent. Very good.
And the
Okay.
next poem is by Helen Hunt Jackson, who was born in 1830 and died in 1885. Um, she was a poet. She was born in Amherst, Massachusetts in 1830, but then she moved to the West, and she became late in life a passionate activist for Indian rights. And she wrote this book in 1881 called Century of Dishonor, um, which of course um, created a stir. And
Yeah, I'm
she also
sure. Yeah.
was the author of Ramona, a novel, which I vaguely remember from my childhood.
I only remember it as an early Bob Dylan song, so it must be. I'm glad to know that it has earlier roots. Um,
Yes.
Ramona, come closer. Sing softly. So, okay, all right. So
And this
this is
poem
called
is
Dawn.
also just called Dawn.
Right.
And anything you want to read, just interrupt me and do it.
Oh, I'll do this one. This is also very song-like. I like the ones that are song-like. Okay.
Hmm.
With a ring of silver and a ring of gold and a red, red rose which illumines her face. The sun, like a lover who glows and is bold, woos the lovely earth to his strong embrace.
I had some really nice imagery, I thought.
The Well, I like illumines and illumines as supposed to
Yes,
as this illuminate, illuminates
yes,
her face would be a little too rhymey, right? If she
yes,
had done and illuminates her face, it would be almost that illuminates her face.
yeah.
So interesting. Yeah,
The sun like a lover who glows and is bold. I like that line.
right.
Woos the lovely earth to his strong embrace.
Yeah, that adds that even a cosmic touch. It's very cool.
Yes.
Yeah, right. No, I like that. That's very nice. Helen Hunt too. I wonder if the actress Helen Hunt, if that's her real name or she took it after this woman.
I don't know.
It makes me want to look that up,
Yeah.
All right. So which one is next?
Elsa Gitlow, who she was born in 1898 and she lived all the way to 1886. She's a British-born Canadian-American poet, and she is most notorious, I would say, for writing On a Gray Thread, which was published in the 20s. And it was the first volume of openly lesbian love poetry published in North America.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow. Elsa Gitlow. Okay. Very
Yes.
interesting. I
She
did not
wrote
know that.
13 books, and right before her death, her autobiography was published, which was called Elsa, I Come with My Song. So she was pretty amazing.
Wow. Wow. No, she lived until 86, huh?
Yeah, she lived until 86.
I
She was
never even,
born in 98.
wow. Wow. Wow.
She was not someone I was familiar with before I found this poem. And this
Very
poem is
interesting.
also simply called Dawn.
All right. Yeah, let's hear what oh yeah, this is a nice one. This is a nice one.
Dawn opens like a great gold flower, petaled by monstrous petal, quivering minute by minute, hour by hour, stretches great live leaves over hundreds of hills, scatters flakes of pollen dust into a few valleys, drops a loose petal down where a slender waterfall spills. Morning opens like a gold flower, stars and quivers singingly at the feet of the day. Stirs and quivers swingingly at the feet of the day, shoots a transparent light into a morning moving mist that risks spirally like a butterfly at play. In the heart of the mist, morning opens, a gold flower, superbly like a dawning passion. Can night be the consummation of this expectant white hour? And I thought that last couple of lines on "Can night be the consummation of this expected white hour" was so unexpected, but so perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's very well. It's kind of an erotic poem in a way,
Yes,
don't you? So,
he was known for that.
yeah, and I thought the line that got me the second, I guess it's no, well, I can't tell. Yes, second stanza, I guess. When morning opens like a gold flower, stirs and quivers singingly at the feet of the day, shoots transparent light into a moving mist, and then this that wrists spirally like a butterfly at play. I thought wrists, using wrist as a verb, that stuck out at me, and it
Yes.
works. I wasn't, I thought I was reading it wrong at first, but I think it works.
Hmm. I thought so
Uh,
too.
yeah, yeah.
And
I hadn't seen it.
because of the spirally, the adverb that follows it,
Yeah, yeah,
it's something
right,
spiraling around the wrist,
right, right, right,
like a
right.
butterfly at play.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was a cool. I don't think I've seen that word used. I don't think I've seen the word wrist. Don't remember it ever being used that way. So it's a very
Yeah.
quite original, yeah, to me. But
And I like like I said, I like the end of the poem and the
Oh
heart
yeah, it's
morning open to gold flower.
yeah, that's like
Superbly, like a dawning passion. Again, that's,
right, right,
erotic.
right. I know, like
And can
night.
night be the consummation again
Yeah, right.
of this expected wine hour?
Yeah, right, right. I know. It's
So
pretty clever there, So I think everybody who reads it will get it. Anyway, all right. Well, that's a great one. So one of the things about a poem about a natural event that everyone experiences, okay, repeatedly, is that you're kind of required if you're going to write a poem to dawn or sunset or starlight or something like that, it should be good. You know, it should show some work, to otherwise it won't be, no one will notice. But I noticed these are good. What's next?
going to poet who's no stranger to this show, Rita Dove. We actually heard Rita read at Dodge some years back. She was born in 52, and she's currently still professor of creative writing at UVA. She's been teaching there for a long time, since I was in Charlottesville, actually. And this is called Dawn Revisited. And it's a lyric poem, but it's different from the others. It's not as I've lost a poem. You're gonna have to read Joy Harjo because
Okay. You want me to read Joy Harjo?
no, I'm gonna read Rita Dove, but then you're gonna
Uh,
have to read Joy Harjo because somehow I've misplaced her
I
poem.
have I have Joy. I have that one, and also the very unusual poem that you have on the list here. Who I don't know who it's. Oh, by someone.
William Empson. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
very that was an unusual find.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So anyway, but I'm up for all of them. So go ahead and do your.
okay.
I have Joy's poem up here too.
Yes. This is um this is Rita Dove. It's called Dawn Revisited. It's from her book On the Bus with Rosa Parks. And I love the opening line to this. I want to use this as an epigraph for a poem. Imagine you wake up with a second chance. The blue jay hawks his pretty wares, and the oak still stands, spreading glorious shade. If you don't look back, the future never happens. How good to rise in sunlight in the prodigal smell of biscuits, eggs, and sausage on the grill. The whole sky is yours to ride on, open to a blank page. Come on, shake a leg. You'll never know who's down there frying those eggs if you don't get up and see.
Right. Now that is a great dawn sensation.
Yes,
That when she said that, when I had that in a poem, I said, yes, I remember that. I can remember. I don't know when I was a kid, maybe, or not just when I was a kid. You're asleep and someone's cooking bacon and eggs and sausage and whatever in the kitchen, and do I really want to miss that? No.
yes. And I love the line, the whole sky is yours to ride on, blown open to a blank page.
That's right.
I
Right.
thought that was beautiful.
Yeah, she has a very natural talent that's
Everything
I
is done very naturally in this poem. There's nothing that feels forced. Her poetry always seems to flow so beautifully.
it does. That's
And
interesting. She's still hanging out on the faculty at UVA. That's it.
yes,
Well,
she is.
UVA has always had a interesting. When I first went there, the English department was interesting. It was people that were really pretty intense about their particular field. At least
Mhm.
back in those days, and and thought it was important. Still thought it was important that this thing about literature or this particular writer or this particular tradition was something of great value. Um, I'm not sure that's been maintained, but I bet by her it has. And
So
department.
next, we're going to go to one of your favorite poets, Joy Harjo, who
Oh
was born
yeah.
in 51. And she was the first Native American to become poet laureate, and she served 3 terms. She served from 2019 to 2022. And she is just a brilliant poet, one of the what they call the second wave of Native American poets. That she's also a brilliant saxophonist.
Yeah,
Uh,
Poetic Justice is her band. Or was
yes,
her band. I don't know what it's she made it. I noticed people that have bands change their names. They
yes.
go with different bands. It's hard to keep a band together for a long time unless there's a lot of money in it. So,
So this is called Sunrise, and I'd like you to read this one, John.
okay, sunrise. All right. Sunrise. As you enter the houses of everyone here, find us. We've been crashing for days, or has it been years? Find us beneath the shadow of this yearning mountain, crying here. We have been sick with sour longing and jangling of fears. Our spirits rise up in the dark because they hear doves in the cottonwoods calling forth the sun. We struggled with a monster and lost. Our bodies were tossed in the pile of kill. We rotted there. We were ashamed, and we told ourselves for 1,000 years we didn't deserve anything but this. And one day, in relentless eternity, our spirits discerned movement of prayers carried toward the sun. And this morning, we are able to stand with all the rest and welcome you here and move with the lightness of being, and we will go where there's place for us.
I thought that was a lovely meditation.
Oh boy, yeah, yeah, I love that one too.
We
That speaks
struggled
for
with the
itself.
monster and lost. What a powerful line. You don't know where the poem's going to go from
Oh
there.
boy, yeah. I mean, just well, where does it go? It goes in one day in relentless eternity. Oh my God.
Our spirits discern the movement of prayers carried toward the sun.
Right.
So I
Wow.
thought it was a remarkable poem and
Yeah,
written
really,
very
really.
particular sensibility.
Oh, she's just great, you know. I mean, you know, I mean, I don't. It's interesting. I can tell in different ones of her different poems by her. Some of them are very close to chants, okay,
Yes.
and they are very close to also some of the songs and chants of Native American peoples. You know,
Mhm.
at least in some traditions, and so but others, she has. She goes way deep. She goes way beyond, the particular cultural context. And this one's one, even though it's deeply in the Native American context, nonetheless, it reaches out. It embraces everything, like a sunrise poem should. So I think that's why I think it's really great that she did. What's next?
We're going to finish with William Empson.
Oh yeah, this one is so bizarre. Yeah,
I want to tell you a little bit about him before we read it.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
It's a longer poem, but I put it in because I love the music in the poem and the technical skill, but it is got some unusual anyhow, I understood it better when I read that it was written when he was in Japan and waking up with his lover when there's an earthquake at dawn.
Can
But
I read
anyhow,
that? Is it okay if I read this one?
yes, I want you to.
Okay,
This is,
good.
he was born in 1906 and he died in 1984. He's a British poet, but he was primarily a literary critic. And he published virtually no poetry after 1940, even though he lived 44 years after that. But I uncovered a really unusual story about him when I was researching this. He
Yeah.
wrote a manuscript. He lived in Japan for a while. He got fascinated by images of the Buddha in Japan. So he
Uh-huh.
traveled all over the East, looking at statues, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, looking at statues, China, looking at statues of the Buddha. And he wrote a manuscript called The Face of the Buddha, um,
Uh-huh.
in the 30s. And then in the aftermath and the chaos after World War II, he lost his only copy of the manuscript.
Oh no.
And so it was gone. It was one of those famous lost book stories.
Yes, right.
But
Oh,
then in 2003, it was found in the papers of an editor, Richard March, who had donated his papers to a university or a library, I can't remember which. And it was finally published in 2016.
no kidding.
Yes, so this is the face of the Buddha, which Eastern scholars say is actually quite a remarkable book.
Wow. Wow, that's so
Isn't it
interesting.
an incredible story?
Yeah, yeah. And so
He died never knowing that it had been found.
oh my God. Oh my God. Well, there you go. Okay. Oh my goodness. So this is called Aubade, right? This poem.
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to warn the listener that it has an unusual kind of syntax. I'm going to try to get it right here, but I read it twice this morning, and I got more interested in it the second as I read it the second time. Um, but anyway, I guess we'll do our best. Uh, yeah, one second. There we go. Um, all right. Hours before dawn, we were woken by the quake. My house was on a cliff. The thing could take bookloads off shelves, break bottles in a row. Then the long pause, and then the bigger shake. It seemed the best thing to be up and go. And for too large, and far too large for my feet to step by, I hoped that various buildings were brought low. The heart of standing is you cannot fly. It seemed quite safe till she got up and dressed. The guardest tourist makes the guide the test. Let's do that line again. The guardest, Guard, the guardest tourist makes the guide the test. Then I said, the garden? Laughing, she said no. Taxi for her and me, healthy rest. It seemed the best thing to get up and go. The language problem, but you have to try. Some solid ground lying could she show? The heart of standing is you cannot fly. None of these deaths were her point at all. The thing was that being woken, he could bawl. And finding her not in earshot, he would know. I tried saying half an hour to pay this call. It seemed the best thing to be up and go. I slept, and blank as that I would yet lie, till you have seen what a threat holds below. The heart of standing is you cannot fly. Tell me again about Europe and her pains. Who's tortured by the drought? Who by the rains? Glut me with floods where only the swine can row. Who cuts his throat and let him count his gains? It seemed the best thing to be up and go. A, a bedshift flight to a far eastern sky. Only the same war on a stronger toe. The heart of standing is you cannot fly. Tell me more quickly what I lost by this. Tell me with less drama what they miss. Who called No.Die a god for a good throw? Called No.Die a god for a good throw. Wow. Who say after two aliens had one kiss, it seemed the best to get up and go. But as to risings, I can tell you why. It is on contradiction that they grow. It seemed the best thing to be up and go. Up was the heartening and strong reply. The heart of standing is we cannot fly.
There's tremendous music in this poem.
Yeah, right.
And the repeating lines, it almost I when I first encountered them, I was thinking, is this a villanelle? And I went back and looked and it just went on and on. And but the repeating lines are very strong. It seemed the best thing to be up and go. And I really love the hardest standing is that you cannot fly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in it that, on its own wouldn't make sense, but as it represents, it gains momentum as it goes on in the
Yeah.
poem, and you almost can't tell why. The hardest thing about is to stand up. The hardest of standing is you cannot fly. Got to remember that one. Well, these are really unusual. Now the dawn aspect of it, I kind of, I it- kind of, I got that kind of got lost somehow in where this poem was going, and I'm going to read it a couple more times, I think, to figure out to see whether it's actually a daybreak that's going on. In a way, it is, I guess, and so I'm looking over it again, but
Well, he goes back to sleep and then the poem continues. I slept, and blank as that I would yet lie, till you have seen what a threat holds below. The hardest standing is you cannot fly. And the way this poem works, it's 5 lines, 3 lines, 5 lines, 3 lines. That's not apparent as you read it, but it
right,
alternates. And the
right.
3 line stanzas end in the hardest standing is that you cannot fly. And the 5 line stanzas end in it seemed the best thing to be up and go.
Well,
And then he
it's the fact
goes
that
in, sorry,
the line that seemed the best thing to be up and go is, the Aubade part of the poem, I think,
yes.
because it's there every morning, right? So
Mhm.
um yeah.
Then he throws in odd things like, who says after two aliens had one kiss? It seems to be. I mean, that just came, where did he come up with that?
I know that's a great line. That's just, I mean, yeah. It's a very original, very creative. I'm surprised he didn't write more of them, but this doesn't sound like it was an easy poem to write either.
No.
Um, I mean, it's got a lot going on in it, but he has a really great sensibility about it. So
Hmm.
it makes me want if he did write more, it would make me want to read more.
Yeah,
What
I'm
you say?
curious.
What was he, a literary critic in what field? Do you remember what his focus was?
No, I don't. He was just one of the really prominent literary critics of his day.
Yeah, I'll
Um,
have to look that up. But in English, right? He was in
in
England. He was,
English, he was
yeah, right,
British, but
right.
he spent a lot of time. There's also another interesting story about him. He was at Cambridge, and he originally started out in mathematics, but then he switched to English. And while he was working on his degree in English, um, and living at Cambridge, I guess it was valet, one of the people who tend to his rooms, whoever you call that to, found some condoms and then claimed that they saw him having sex with a woman in Cambridge, and he was
Yes.
expelled for that. So he never finished his English degree, so he wound up traveling around the world teaching, particularly in the East. And 50 years later, I think right when he was, I don't know if he was still alive when this happened, but 50 years later, Cambridge relented and gave him an honorary degree. Um, but,
Wow.
but that was another story about William Empson.
Wow. 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 Well, I've seen from his books here that he was into he wrote a whole book on Milton or on Milton's God, excuse me. Same thing, I suppose.
How to
Um,
separate the deity from Milton, it's kind of pretty impossible.
yeah, right. You have to get an idea of Milton's God first, otherwise. Um, yeah, so well, that's really what an interesting Aubade, Dawn poems. Well, this has been very interesting, and of course, it's past dawn now, and we'll have to wait until tomorrow morning to see whether any of our listeners try to pick up on it tomorrow morning and see whether it works. It might be a good time. I know Billy Collins always advised very early in the morning. Gets if you're going to write poetry every day, which he always advised trying to do. He said you start early, very early.
William
And
Stafford did too. He claimed that you can always be free if you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
that's that's true. That's true. Well, Jared, I know you have, you're going to get back on your 4 a.m., writing spree pretty soon, but
No, I don't get up at 4 a.m. and write. I'm an evening writer.
all right, well, so you're going to have to be an afternoon poet. Well,
Yes, I'm
every
an
every every part of the day, I mean, what's now Aubades or dawn poems? What is like, afternoon delight type time? What's that called?
I don't know if it has a name, but we'll look for them.
Like, okay, all right. All right. Well, thank you so much for the dawn poems. I see that Lucy is telling me she wants to go outside. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, that's my dog, everybody, and she always comes and tells me she's ready to me to shut up. And by the way, I learned from putting on my tinfoil hat that and talking to the animals that when we talk, they think it's barking. Take care.
Okay.
Talk to you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye.